Welcome to the Star Teacher, Star Student Award Ceremony for the Class of 2022, presented by Gaston County Schools and sponsored by the Gaston Gazette. I am Todd Higgins from the Gaston County Schools Communications Department, and it is a pleasure to have you with us this evening. Today's ceremony recognizes outstanding high school students in the class of 2022 and the accomplished teachers who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to see that they are successful. We would like to thank the Gaston Gazette for sponsoring this wonderful recognition program, and we appreciate the staff here at Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden for working with us to bring our Star Teacher, Star Student ceremony to the garden this year. To offer our official welcome from the Gaston County Board of Education, I am delighted to introduce our chairman, Mr. Jeff Ramsey.
Well, first of all, y'all are looking good. It's a beautiful night, and it's exciting to finally actually have something in person to highlight our students and teachers. So, well, good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education, it is a pleasure to welcome you to Star Teacher and Star Student Award ceremonies. Before I get started, I would like to recognize our Board of Education members. Doc Cherry is our Vice Chair. Please stand. Doc Guthrie, Gaston Township. Steve Hall, Dallas Township. Thank you for being with us tonight. Each Star student being honored this evening selected the teacher who had the greatest influence on his or her life. The teachers being recognized are among the best of the best in Gaston County schools. They are truly the star teachers who work to make a difference every day. And I'm going to go off script here for a second. It's been a tough year for all of us the last 2 years with COVID, mentally, physically, and everything. So I want to ask all of our teachers and staff to stand up, and I'd like to recognize them for the great job. Went beyond the measure of their work. They've done everything they could to keep y'all kids on track. And I just want to let them stand and recognize them, staff, principals, and everyone. Please stand. The Board of Education joins me in commending each student and teacher being honored this evening. And we salute you on a job well done, especially these last 2 years. We are confident that our star students will go on and become professionals and leaders in the community. And we know that our star teacher will continue to inspire their students every day. Congratulations to all of our star students and star teachers, and we hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.
At this time, to bring greetings on behalf of our event sponsor, the Gaston Gazette, please welcome the publisher, Miss Lucy Talley.
Thank you, Todd. It is a pleasure to be here. On behalf of the entire staff at the Gazette, we sincerely appreciate the opportunity to sponsor this important, very important recognition program again this year. We've been working with Gaston County Schools for a number of years, and this one is no different. And I'll be crying before the end of the day, the end of the evening, so just get ready. I think I'm waterproof, but anyway. And don't you think Daniel Stowe is the perfect outdoor setting for this great event that we are meeting here in person, and I'm happy to be here. We are certainly grateful for the springtime weather. It was such a relief to wake up this morning and see the sun shining and know that we would be able to have the ceremony outdoors as planned. And so I know everybody from here up is probably a little warm, so I'll kick it up a notch. As the publisher of the Gazette, I take great pride in being able to share our community's good news. The ceremony is just one of the education-related events that the Gazette sponsors throughout the year, and we are extremely pleased to do so. A few of the other activities include the Gaston County Spelling Bee, the Do the Right Thing Student Recognition Program, and the Newspapers in Education Program, to name a few. To the students and teachers here this evening, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to you and commend you on your many accomplishments. All of us at the Gazette are so very proud of you, and we wish you continued success as you reach for the stars in all that you do. It's obvious that you're already doing that, so keep reaching. Thank you and congratulations.
Now it is a pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. W. Jeffrey Booker.
Good evening. That's right, a little energy. Come on, good evening. Lucy, thank you again for being here. You all may not realize, but Lucy Talley is over about from the Northeast all the way into Florida of newspapers, and she takes time to be here with us tonight and recognize the great work that's going on in our public schools. So thank you, Lucy, and to the Gazette for all your support as we have this event tonight. And I'm also appreciative of the Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden and its willingness to open up and allow us to have this at a very economical price. We appreciate that as well. As has been mentioned, 2 years is a long time to go without celebrating in person. So I want you to take a moment and be thankful for that we're here together. Unfortunately, in our world today, there are a lot of places they can't gather like this. Not because of COVID, but because people won't let them. We're fortunate to have that. So just hold on to that for a minute. And we're fortunate that we have public education that allows us to enrich students and to enrich our community. And we're going to get to see the best of the best tonight. Because these students didn't get selected as a star student because it was a random drawing. They got selected because they have done things and shown their leadership in their classroom, in their school, and in our community. And I'm sure that each of these star teachers will be humbled by what they'll hear their students share about them. But recognize this is one student representing hundreds, and for some of them thousands of students that they have impacted like this. But the teachers will say, I teach because I learn from my students. And with these students, there's a lot to learn because their academic records are impressive. And we are so honored that your families allowed us to be able to nurture and be a part of your child's life and education. And we know they are our stars for tomorrow. They talk about what you teach a child can last for once, it could last for a day, or it could last for a lifetime. But what you show a child will always come back to you. What you see tonight is what our educators do every day in the classroom. They show them beyond the A's and B's and C's of writing and the adding up of numbers and arithmetic. They show them what it is to give and to contribute and to be a part of making our society better. So to all of our teachers, thank you for what you do. Thank you for making our classrooms successful. But to these students, I hope you will take and feel the joy that you've inspired in them. And you've lived where we say we want to inspire success in a lifetime of learning every day in our classrooms. And you have witnessed and evidenced that by what you do. So we're extremely proud of this class that we get to present tonight to you. And I hope all of you will enjoy this evening, and we thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. We are ready to meet our star teachers and star students for the class of 2022. I will introduce each student and teacher and have the student come forward to read his or her essay. We would like for the teacher to please stand on the X right here as the student shares his or her essay. Then we will give the teacher an opportunity to make brief remarks before the awards presentation. Superintendent Booker and the Board of Education members will present to the star teacher the official Star Teacher Award, which is sponsored by the Gazette, a copy of the Star Student's Essay, and a Gaston County Schools lapel pin. And students, I hope you have a copy of your essay. If you don't, we will hand you the plaque off the table so you can read it off of the plaque. We've got you covered. Each student will receive the Star Student plaque and a Star Student lapel pin. So we begin our recognition this evening with East Gaston High School. It is a pleasure to recognize East Gaston High School. The Star Student is Allie Grice. She is the daughter of Brent and Lisa Grice. She is a Levine Scholar and plans to attend the University of North Carolina at Charlotte to study civil engineering. Her star teacher is Michael Kaufman, and he teaches math at East Gaston High School.
Good evening. It is rare that you get to have a teacher for 4 classes. I had the privilege of learning Math 2, Pre-Calc, AP Calc, and AP Stats from Mr. Kaufman. This means that he's gotten to know the awkward freshman version of me, the overwhelmed junior, and the mellowed, kind of, senior. When I first walked into Math 2 honors on the first day of high school, Mr. Kaufman was the most intimidating person I met. He takes teaching very seriously and does not tolerate the tomfoolery I was accustomed to in middle school. It was the first time I had to be pushed and work hard in a class. Not only was I challenged by the class, but I also looked forward to it. We were constantly playing Jeopardy review games and learning in a way that made math make sense. Once I pursued the more rigorous math courses, I found a version of Mr. Kaufman who was just as excellent a teacher, but also one who started to shed the stern exterior and joke around with our class. He was always finding ways to make calc and stats more fun, whether it was making us a class playlist or letting us launch pumpkins outside. Being a great teacher is an achievement, but Mr. Kaufman also is an exceptional person. He genuinely cares about his students. He has a little space in his room where students can take a pack of ramen noodles or a bag of fruit snacks with a sign that says, "Take what you need, no questions asked." He shares excitement over the students' accomplishments and goes above and beyond when you need help understanding a topic. There are so many more examples I could give to show how Mr. Kaufman has impacted my high school career, but I will share my favorite. He lets every student who gets an A in an AP class paint a board for him to put on his classroom wall to remember us by. I will always remember him as the best teacher I ever had and a positive impact on my high school years. Thank you.
I'll try. Allie, of course, as always, a tough act to follow. As Allie said, my name is Michael Kaufman, and I was nominated for the Star Teacher by her. All teachers know that students often influence and inspire their teachers as much as we inspire them. And that's what Allie Grice has done for me as a teacher. She's taught me countless lessons over our time together. Watching her chase her dreams and succeed has served as a daily motivator for me to continue to reach for my own goals and aspirations. Allie has done this every day, not just through her academics, which are incredible, as you're most likely going to be our valedictorian, but through her personality, her tenacity, and her spirit. These things and more are what make Allie Grice the most sensational student I have ever had the privilege of working with. Her strive for excellence, her leadership, her maturity, and her benevolence all display the mission of not only East Gaston High School, but the very mission that all of us set out on when we chose to become teachers. Simply put, Allie is the gold standard of East Gaston High School. I firmly believe that, Allie, you could pursue any future field of study and be wildly successful. As Allie said, it is rare that a teacher gets the opportunity to teach a student in 4 different classes, and I swear I didn't look at hers before this. I got to have that opportunity with Allie and watch her grow from a timid freshman into the outstanding woman and leader. Throughout that time, I never stopped learning from you, Allie. And I know it's cliche, but if I do ever have a daughter, I would be proud if she turned out like you. Thank you all for this opportunity, and before I end, I know I'm trying to keep this brief. Allie, I'd like to say thank you to you. Normally I would say thank you and keep being awesome, but that's just it, Allie. Just by you being you, you've accomplished all of these things. And you're going to accomplish so much more. So today I'm not going to say keep being awesome. Today I want to just tell you just to keep being you, because you, Allie Grice, are the very embodiment of awesome.
Now we would like to recognize our star teacher and star student from the Gaston County Virtual Academy. The star student is Courtney Hawkins. Her mother is Erin Stewart. Courtney was an early graduate from the Gaston County Virtual Academy and is attending classes at Gaston College to become a pediatric nurse. Her star teacher is Donna Griffith. Ms. Griffith is now retired after teaching elementary school for 31 years with Gaston County Schools. Welcome our star student and star teacher from the Gaston County Virtual Academy.
Hello. When I was going into 5th grade, I was both extremely nervous and excited because I thought I already knew everything. Some of my friends' older siblings had Miss Griffith as well as my older sister, so I was incredibly happy to learn that I would also get to have her as my teacher. Miss Griffith taught me many things. 5th grade is the last year of elementary school, and for an anxious kid, having a good teacher to teach them would be to be more confident in themselves, and how to handle middle school is a very important job. She was not just my teacher, but a support system for all 30 kids that she had in her class at one time. She comforted me when I thought I was going to get swept away by a tornado when we were learning about cold fronts. And she let me play in the little kid playground because it was much more fun than running around in the grass. 5th grade seems like an insignificant grade, but kids notice when their teachers care, and Ms. Griffith, without a doubt, did care about her students. Thank you.
I was so happy and proud to hear about Courtney's achievements as a star student. And I had the pleasure of teaching her in 5th grade at Bess, and have such fond memories of her being a great team player in our classroom. I remember Courtney putting her whole heart into everything she did inside and outside of class. She's an amazing artist and is committed to improving and sharing her talents. Courtney is a wonderful human who is a blessing to our world. She's a good partner, a good friend, a good soul who is honest, trustworthy, and responsible. She is always attentive and willing to help others. Courtney is compassionate, dedicated, and has hopes and dreams that will certainly make our world a brighter place. A diligent student juggles between exams, self-learning, and other activities every day. These life skills will continue to aid Courtney in making her dreams come true. I feel like I was the luckiest to have Courtney, and she was one of the best. Congratulations on your achievement and the amazing future you have. You are a shining star for Gaston County Schools.
Now we would like to recognize the star teacher and star student from Hunter Huss High School. The star student is Allison Kimmel. Her parents are Scott and Jessica Kimmel. She plans to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and major in kinesiology. Her star teacher is Carrie Baskett. Ms. Baskett teaches English at Hunter Huss High School. So let's welcome the star student and star teacher from Hunter Huss High School at this time.
Hello. After my 7th grade English class, English and writing became my strong suits, although I never really enjoyed them. I was determined to find my love for English, and Miss Baskett led me there. Miss Baskett has always been a positive influence, and I've never seen her without a smile on her face. I can't tell you how many times I was feeling down or unmotivated until I stepped into her classroom knowing that there was a routine to ground me. She gave me the independence that I loved while also providing me with support if I needed it. I took 11th and 12th grade English with Miss Baskett, along with women's literature, and fell even more in love with writing and research. In women's literature, we had to choose a book written by a female author, and then choose a quote that spoke to us each day and elaborate on it. It allowed for personal connections and exploration of my own imagination. Over the semester, I learned a lot about myself because of the way she pushed me to place myself in a story, to become the heroine and follow the storyline in my own life. Many of the books I read, including the ones we read as a class, became my favorites. Not only have I been inspired by her as a teacher, but I am continually impressed by her dedication as a mother who raised her daughter who has more confidence and strength than I've ever seen in an 8-year-old. Through coaching Ava on a swim team, I've seen the proof of Miss Baskett's positive, loving support and their impact beyond the classroom. She has instilled optimism and courage in me from the day I met her, and I am so glad to have her as my star teacher.
Thank you, Allison. This is an excellent reality check of what I put my students through when I make them do public speaking in the classroom. It's nice to be reminded of that every now and then. I've had the privilege of working with Allison's mom, Jessica, for my entire career at Hunter Huss, which has also allowed me the privilege of watching Allison grow up over the last 18 years. From her birth announcement, to her tiny head of curls toddling around the track on football Friday nights, to her first official steps as a Hunter Huss student. The years have passed in the blink of an eye, and now it is incredibly bittersweet to accept this award from her at this phase of her journey, as a confident high school senior on her way to new adventures at UNC Chapel Hill. It has been my pleasure to teach Allison for the last 2 years, as both her Lit and Lang teacher and as her Study of Women's Lit teacher. What has always struck me the most about Allison is her unpretentious modesty. Allison has achieved excellence in every area of her life. In athletics, she remains undefeated in her 4 years as a high school swimmer, and she was named Swimmer of the Year for all 4 years. And in academics, as is evident from her award here tonight, as well as the fact that she was accepted into every college she applied to. Yet she still has such a kind heart and a sweet personality. I am not the only one who thinks so highly of Allison. My 8-year-old daughter, Ava, absolutely idolizes her and aspires to be just like her when she grows up, and I am okay with that. Allison couldn't be a better role model for little girls everywhere. So thank you, Allison, by nominating me as your star teacher. Not only have you honored me as a teacher, but you just upped my cool mom cred more than anything else could.
It is a pleasure to recognize the star teacher and star student from Bessemer City High School. The star student is Luke Hogan. His parents are Fred and Patricia Hogan. He plans to attend Wingate University and earn a degree in pre-pharmacy before continuing on to graduate school. His star teacher is Mary Martin. Miss Martin teaches English at Bessemer City High School, and it's a pleasure to introduce the star student and star teacher for Bessemer City High School.
Hello. Mrs. Martin is one of the greatest influences on my life and has been since the beginning of my freshman year at Bessemer City High School. She was my teacher for 9th grade English honors, 11th grade AP English, and 12th grade yearbook/journalism. 9th grade was a very hard year for me mentally. Fresh into high school, still learning who I was, I struggled with anxiety, and it really showed during my first year at high school. I was the quiet kid who only socialized with a handful of very close friends. Miss Martin helped me come out of my shell that year. She was always assigning group work, and it forced me to socialize with people I might not have talked to normally because of my anxiety. She was there for me when I was stressing about a test or a class, and always gave me advice on how to deal with that stress. She was my teacher, but she was also a person I could go to and talk about my problems. She always helped me find a solution for them. I've dealt with insecurities, and I've lacked the confidence that I was good enough to be successful. Miss Martin showed me that I was good enough and that I would do something great in the future. She was the one teacher who always pushed me to be great. She would criticize my work so that I could learn from my mistakes and make them better. She helped me in so many ways. I am so grateful for her. If someone had asked me freshman year if I would be who I am now, I would have shaken my head and walked away. She watched me grow from a quiet freshman to a confident and opinionated junior, and then to an even louder and more confident senior. This is why I proudly choose to make Miss Martin the star teacher for Bessemer City High School. She pushed me on an academic level, but she has also helped me excel as an individual, which I will carry throughout my future. Thank you, Miss Martin.
how to follow that act, but start off by saying it's a great honor to be here and to have Josh, or I called you Josh in here, but Luke, because his real name's Josh, but Luke, named me as the star teacher at Bessemer City High School. This award is something that I definitely do not take lightly. It's something that actually when I was a child, my mom received. She's a teacher as well, and when I found out that I was getting it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like full circle. But as a teacher, your hope is to be successful in leaving an impact on the lives of your students, but it's something that I strive myself to remember, that is very important to remember that those students can make just as much of an impact on your life as you can theirs, and sometimes even more. Luke is by far one of those students that has made an impact on my life, and one that I'm never going to forget. He's always like a light in my class, and he keeps it interesting, as he said in his little essay. He has helped me to remember why it is that I chose to go into teaching, and that reason is for students such as him. The students that strive to learn every day, that strive to become the absolute best versions of themselves, that know what goals they have in life and are willing to go to the ends of the world to achieve those goals. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch Luke grow into the young man that he is today, from the young 9th grader sitting in my English class, trying to figure out his way in life, and I promise I didn't read his before either, to the confident yearbook advisor and that I had the privilege of working alongside this year, my first year of yearbook, and it was better just because of him. I can't wait to see the future that he has as a pharmacist. I know he's going to do wonders. I have no doubt in my mind that he will do great things in life, and I cannot wait to see where he ends up in his future. And don't you worry, I will come visit you at Tony's for my ice cream fix.
Now we would like to recognize the star student and star teacher from Forestview High School. The star student is Evan Friday. His parents are Todd and Dana Friday. He plans to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and major in nursing or biology. His star teacher is Lindsay Dickerson Beverly. She teaches English at Forestview High School. Please welcome the star student and star teacher for Forestview High School.
Thank you. I'm honored to have Ms. Dickerson Beverly alongside me today. And one thing that really has stood out about her is how she values connections with the students. I've had her only for one semester, but it feels like she's been with me every step through high school. Her door was always open, and I could go there no matter what, no matter if it was when I tore my ACL on the first day of senior year, or if it was about scholarships. She knew exactly what to say and when to say it. But one thing that stood out even more than this is how she listened. She did not, think about what she was saying when I was talking, or just wanted to say what I wanted to hear. But she really listened and really cared about what I was saying. And that changed the way that I saw how to be a leader. She led, again, how she listened. And she always wanted to be there. And she listened like she really cared. And having a teacher like that changed the way that I saw other teachers, and my expectations for other teachers were, probably too high comparing them to her. And so, but it was just amazing to have someone with that much support for you, and having someone always in my corner, and all of my classmates I've ever been lucky enough to have her. And having that support really pushes you to do more. And especially when, you're a senior who English is not your favorite subject, it's easy to kind of write off that class. And I didn't think it was going to be anything out of the ordinary, but Miss Dickerson is not an ordinary teacher. And so I'm beyond thankful to have her, not just, every time she corrected my grammatical mistakes, which many of them, but the lessons she taught me that I will take to college and beyond. And so I'm very honored, and I'm very thankful for you.
Okay, try not to get emotional. I'm so happy to be here in person, getting to celebrate our kids, getting to see the wonderful staff. It's been what seems like eternity. And I'm certain most of us here today, as it was mentioned earlier, would agree that this school year has definitely been one of the hardest to date. Like, we thought the COVID years were hard, and then this year just proved even harder for different reasons. Every one of us, staff and students, we've overcome so many challenges. We've done it together. We've come out on the other side, and we've learned so much. And I would like to note that although this was the hardest of my 18 years in education, it is a student like Evan who is a reminder of why I'm still here in the trenches with all of you, just following my passion in education. Evan is truly one in a million, and for so many reasons. While he has excelled academically, his achievements go far beyond the letter grades. Evan has positively impacted lives of others in ways he probably does not even realize. He's a role model to his peers, and he's a breath of fresh air to the staff. He's known for his sense of humor and a contagious smile. He lights up any room that he walks into and puts others at ease. And you can count on him, which is evident in his friend groups. It's evident in the way others look up to him. And I've never heard another student make a negative remark, which we all know in high school, if you're revered by your peers, that speaks volumes. I've witnessed Evan show extraordinary character and bravery and perseverance just this year alone. Evan had an ACL injury he mentioned earlier. It resulted in a surgery, and his senior soccer season was cut short, but instead of allowing disappointment to take over, Evan remained a captain. He showed up for his teammates. He cheered them on from the sidelines. And then he also dealt with so many other personal struggles, but he still continued to show up even in the classroom. What impressed me the most is just how Evan handled these battles with such grace, such maturity, far beyond his years. And when I think of what makes teaching worth it, I look at a student like Evan, who's more than just the good grades earned, more than just a scholarship awarded, because he leaves an impact on those around him. And Evan, you are so well-rounded. You care about your peers, you love your family deeply, and I want you to know that you brighten my day so many times, whether it was just a wave hello or a conversation about the random things that being a Jaguar has to offer. And in what's a thankless profession often at times, you, Evan, reminded me that I too am appreciated and I am valued, and that is priceless to me. I have no doubt you're going to go into your next life chapter successful. You're going to impact others positively. Your gifts and talents definitely deserve to be shared. So, Evan, thank you for being exactly who you are. I am so honored to have taught you, and I can't wait to see where you go from here.
It is a pleasure to recognize the STAR student and STAR teacher from Webb Street School. The STAR student is Isaac Simpson. He is the son of Shireen Falconer. Isaac is currently an intern at Aaron's Good Girl Dog Treats in Belmont, and he looks forward to one day being a part of the local workforce. His STAR teacher is Christine Tileston. Ms. Tileston is a teacher in the transition program and runs the school's aquaponics program at Webb Street School. It is a pleasure to introduce the STAR student and STAR teacher for Webb Street School.
The person.
The person I have chosen for STAR teacher is Miss Christine, who has been one of my favorite transportation teachers during my time at Webb Street School. Miss Tyson always greets me with a great big smile. She encourages me to do my very best in all that I do. Miss Christie helped me learn how to get away for a job. She taught me how to follow the schedule. Miss Christie liked all the joy I made. She let me share them with all of my friends. Thank you, Miss Christie, for being my STAR teacher.
course, I have to follow that. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Well, I am extremely honored to be chosen by Isaac to be his STAR teacher. Isaac has a kind and energetic spirit that is contagious. Everyone loves to see Isaac walk into school every day because he brings joy to all around him. Isaac loves music, art, and being with his friends. Isaac comes into school every day ready to learn. To build vocational skills, our students work in different school-based enterprises on a daily basis. Isaac has worked in our aquaponics greenhouse, our school coffee shop, and our new school food pantry program. Isaac has done well in all of our enterprises at Webb Street. He has already started to use some of the skills that he has learned by making dog treats with past students at Webb Street. I'm excited to see what comes next for Isaac. Yeah.
Now it is a pleasure to recognize the STAR student and STAR teacher for South Point High School. The STAR student is Caroline Beatty. Her parents are Dale and Amanda Beatty. She plans to attend Clemson University or North Carolina State University to major in architecture. Her STAR teacher is Carmen Teague. Ms. Teague is an English teacher at South Point High School. Let's welcome the STAR student and STAR teacher for South Point High School.
In my first year at South Point High School, I was in a class made up of mostly sophomores and then me, a freshman. Whenever we had free time in that class, I began to realize that their conversations were often about Mrs. Teague's AP Prep English class. Hearing their interest made me eager to have her as a teacher the following year. The summer prior to the first semester of sophomore year, I worked diligently on Mrs. Teague's summer assignment to ensure I received my desired grade. I remember her promptly handing it back to us with our grades attached. I was reluctant to look, but I was pleased to see I earned a high grade. This was a sign I had started off on the right track in her class. Mrs. Teague's teaching style and engagement with her students made me genuinely enjoy English, and I found I enjoyed writing even more. Looking back, her teaching benefited me throughout the rest of my academic career. After implementing Mrs. Teague's writing tips, the lifelong skill of writing started coming easier for me in other classes and outside of school. By senior year, I began considering Mrs. Teague not only a teacher, but a mentor. I came to her several times for her guidance throughout my college application process, and she was kind enough to read over my college essay. Not feeling confident about the quality of it, I would not have been surprised if Mrs. Teague pointed me in a different direction. However, her impressed reaction and helpful tips gave me the assurance I needed to feel ready to submit my applications. Mrs. Teague has consistently been encouraging, compassionate, and generous with her time. She has enriched my academic career as well as my experience at South Point High School. She has been an advisor to me in more ways than one and somebody I can count on. She is the perfect embodiment of a STAR teacher.
Okay, thank you, Caroline, for nominating me and honoring me with such a fantastic award. It is exciting to be back in person with everyone here tonight, and it is something that I will cherish. As I began thinking and preparing for tonight and how I wanted to honor Caroline, I kept coming back to this phrase in an African proverb, and it says, "Turn your face toward the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you." And that is true, unless you're a star. And from the darkness, through a careful balance of forces, pressure, the fragments of light, and stardust, will scatter all throughout the galaxy, bringing to life to what we call a star. Everyone wants the stars. We want to grasp that which just out of reach, to hold the extraordinary close and keep the remarkable close to us in our hands. But not all things are meant to be kept close. And in a way, if you think about it, our classroom, it is like a world within itself. A galaxy of expansion, a universe of wonder, an environment that can feel too small to contain the bright magnitude of one single bright star. What I have learned over the course of my years as being a teacher is the importance of cultivating meaningful connections in my classroom. And that is something that I value and prioritize, sometimes maybe over anything else. Sorry, Mr. Ford. Grades are important. But more than that, the way that I've cultivated these connections is by first thinking about my role there. And in order to do that, we have to first be a good steward of the stories that we tell and the stories that we hear. And that way we can become our own keeper of the stars in our own classrooms or in our universe. And so I want to tell you now, Caroline, I am thankful to be a small part of your story and that you'll be a part of mine. I still can remember the first day I met you in English class. You were poised, reserved, and eager, who was like a shining star just beginning to stand out amongst her peers for her kindness, her inclusivity, her intellect, and her imagination. Caroline is one of those students who can captivate a room with her ease. Her ability to navigate a task is like watching an artist seamlessly paint beautiful colors on a canvas. Caroline has the ability to interpret and convey her own understanding of something through her own lens by extracting meaning from every detail. I have watched her work with others, create music, perform, and compete. She is graceful. She strives to see the unseen by digging beyond what is required, not just because she wants to see, but because she wants to understand. She wants to make meaning. She is a true South Point star, and I know that one day when she goes out into the world, she will be her own maker of light. Caroline, you are without question one of the most memorable and kind students I've ever had the privilege to teach. Your intelligence and your beauty, as remarkable as they both are not what I will remember most about you. What I will remember is your patience, the tact and grace with which you handled difficult situations. I will remember the joy that you've shared so freely with others around you while maintaining balance and adventure. I'll remember your humility and the fact that you were never boastful. I will remember your dependability and how you gave freely of your talents, never asking for anything in return. I will remember your sense of humor and how easily you can connect with others around you by being goofy, and your willingness to share with me wholeheartedly who you are. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to recognize the star student and star teacher from Cherryville High School. The star student is Jackson Owens. He is the son of Jason and Kathy Owens. Jackson plans to attend Lenore Ryan University, majoring in pre-medicine before continuing on to medical school. His star teacher is Emily Pope, who teaches English and psychology at Cherryville High School. Please help me welcome the star student and star teacher from Cherryville High School.
Good evening. I've been blessed to have Ms. Pope as a teacher for several classes during my high school experience. These include English 10, psychology, and then AP psychology this year. I've taken classes taught by Ms. Pope for 3 consecutive years. With this, I've witnessed how she responds to the adverse situations put on educators during the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking back to last year, there were several times that Ms. Pope showed that technology was not her strong suit. However, through perseverance and some help from technologically inclined students, Ms. Pope continued to press on during the online semester. During these uncertain times, Ms. Pope's teaching showed us that regardless of the circumstances, an exceptional teacher can illuminate a group of students and allow them to grow as scholars. Along with teaching, Ms. Pope manages many clubs and activities at Cherryville High School. She's the figurehead for Cherryville's National Honor Society, as well as the coordinator for our homecoming, which was a big deal, and the graduation ceremony. It is not wrong to say that without her, Cherryville High School would not run at the pristine level that it currently does. Finally, I would like to address the quality I admire most about Ms. Pope, which is her ability to accommodate her students and create an environment which is inviting to a range of student archetypes. On several occasions, I've seen Ms. Pope modify her style of teaching to allow students to learn. It is an educator's purpose to enrich the learning experience of their students. Ms. Pope excels in this regard, and it's for this reason I have chosen her as my star student.
I've been crying since the first pair went, so I hope I can get through this without embarrassing Jackson. When Jackson came to me and told me that I had to say a little something about him tonight, I got kind of a little bit nervous because you don't say just a little bit about a student like Jackson. There's so much that you could say. I have a long list of qualities that I admire about Jackson. I could go on all night talking about how wonderful he is, but I want to share with you a story that happened in my classroom this semester. As Jackson said, I've taught him 3 times, honors English when we were shut down for COVID, and he was one of 4 students who showed up to my as he said, technology was not my thing, but I tried. And he showed up every single day to my Zoom meetings. He even finished reading Lord of the Flies. He didn't have to do that. His parents didn't make him do that. I didn't make him do that. He did that probably because he felt a little sorry for me, to be truthful, but he did that because he is a young man of exceptional character, and he finishes what he starts. But this semester, I also got a glimpse into Jackson's exceptional character. We had a new student show up first day of second semester. This child is coming to a new school, his second semester senior. So I was a nervous wreck for this child, worried, stressed out, but I didn't need to worry because Jackson had it under control. As soon as the new student walked in, Jackson introduced himself and welcomed this student to Cherryville High School. And I really thought that was probably as far as the friendship would go. But every single day I saw the friendship turn into a real friendship outside of my class. And as the semester went on, Jackson encouraged this student to go out for track because, side note, Jackson is a track star. And at first the student said, no, I don't want to run out. I don't want to do track. I haven't done track since 9th grade. Don't want to do it. But Jackson persisted, and he kept on every day. Come on, go out for track. Be part of the track team. And so eventually the student relented, and he went out for track. And so not only did he get this student to go out for track, but every single day Jackson takes this student to the track, and he takes him home. And I don't know if Jackson realizes the magnitude of that action, of inviting this student to come out to track, befriending this student who didn't have a single friend in the school the first day of his last year of school. But the other day, as class was ending, I have in 4th period, they made an announcement that due to rain, there would be no track practice. And Jackson said, oh good, I get to go home and get caught up on some work and do some extra things. I don't have track today. And the other student, as he was packing up his book bag, he said, I wanted to go to track today. I'm sad I don't get to go to track today. He said, if I don't go to track, I just go home and I just sit there alone. I like going to track. And I don't know if you remember that conversation and the impact that you had on that student. And beyond the grades and the accolades and the track accolades and all the things that he has accomplished these last 4 years, he's just a good kid. Like, he is good to the soul. And I'm so proud of him, and I'm so honored to be here tonight. And I just know that you're going to do great things wherever you go. And just thank you for being you and making my job extremely easy.
We now would like to recognize the star student and star teacher from the Highland School of Technology. The star student is Alyssa Manis. She is the daughter of John Manis. Alyssa plans to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill to major in business administration or communications. Her star teacher is Dan Froelich. Mr. Froelich is a career and technical education teacher in the business pathway at the Highland School of Technology. It is a pleasure to recognize the star student and star teacher. Please welcome them from the Highland School of Technology.
Good evening. Mr. Froelich has taught me so much about real life that I wouldn't have ever learned anywhere else. Credit cards, insurance, and stocks are all scary things that are coming up in his students' lives. He is dedicated to teaching his students information that will help us in our personal and professional lives, as well as prepare us for our future careers and further education. He is always genuinely excited when we can connect what we're learning in class to our real-life experiences. Mr. Freilich is always there for his students, whether they need to borrow a suit and tie or need extra help understanding academic material. Taking his classes has made me realize my interest in business and finance and has helped me solidify my choice to go to college for the next 4 years and majoring in business administration. Mr. Freilich makes even the most boring topics, like taxes, interesting to learn about, and even answers all of our outlandish hypothetical questions. By the way, burning your house down to get insurance money is not a good idea. The engagement and relationships that he has with his students makes being in his classroom something that I look forward to every day. Thank you, Mr. Freilich, for being someone that I can look up to for advice and career planning, and for making me feel like I could come to you if I ever need anything.
Well, good evening. I'm sitting there and going through my mind, I'm realizing why when we do presentations in class, some of my students want to go first. The waiting is a little bit nervousness. I've had the pleasure of teaching Alyssa for 5 different classes, I think. So I've seen her when she was a 10th grader, when she first came into the business and legal pathway. And if you would have asked me then, would she be here today, I would absolutely say yes, she would. To me, when she approached me, I was blown away that I was the teacher that she selected for this. So this is probably, I would rank it up there as the biggest honor that I've received in my teaching career. So thank you for that. It's a blessing. Students like Alyssa make teaching for me easy. She's the kind of student that I love to have in my classroom. Engaging, comfortable enough to bring up topics that might not be comfortable or that might not be acceptable based on the other students in the classroom talking about, today and this week we were talking about domestic relations. So there was a lot of questions that were being bounced around. But Alyssa will ask me questions and she makes me a better teacher. When I had her in the 10th grade and when I had her in the 11th grade, I knew that I had to up my game because she was on pace. I needed to try and stay a day ahead or 2 days ahead. So for that, I'm thankful. For this, I'm thankful. She is going to be a star student wherever she goes, Chapel Hill, whatever course of study she takes, she'll be a star. I only hope that when she is very successful, she'll come back and share some of that knowledge with my students at some time in the future. Thank you very much.
Now we would like to recognize the star student and star teacher for Ashbrook High School. The star student is Elena High. Her parents are Kier High and Tabitha High. She plans to attend Ithaca College in New York, where she plans to major in occupation sciences before going on to earn her graduate degree. Her star teacher is Samantha Young. Ms. Young is an English teacher and the yearbook advisor at Ashbrook High School. Please help me welcome the star student and star teacher for Ashbrook High School.
I first met Ms. Young in my freshman year when I decided to take yearbook. I joined the class with no experience and had no clue how to navigate the ins and outs of high school, let alone yearbook. Now I'm about to graduate and have been the editor-in-chief for the past 2 years, all with the help and endless support of Ms. Young. I can confidently say that I owe a lot of my success in high school to her. Ms. Young has challenged me to always do my best. She kept me on my feet when I felt like I would never be able to complete the yearbook this year. Yearbook brought me out of my shell and taught me so much. Creating a book that others would look back on for years to come is such a special and rewarding experience. Don't get me wrong, it brought its fair share of stress and long nights, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. When I wanted to give up, Ms. Young was right beside me, reminding me that we could do it. Ms. Young believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. She set big goals for me and always pushed me to achieve them. She knows my potential and always helped me go above and beyond in everything I do. She is someone I can always count on to talk about my dreams for the future and tell crazy cat stories to. I can never thank her enough for the impact she's had on my high school years. Without her, I wouldn't be half the person I will be when I walk across the stage in June. There is no doubt in my mind that Ms. Young would be my star teacher. Thank you for everything.
As a teacher,
if you reach even a handful of students each year, you feel like you've done a pretty good job. To have a student name you as one of the most influential teachers they've ever had is both humbling and thrilling. 4 years ago, a sweet young freshman and her mom came to see me before school even started to see if Elena could join the yearbook staff. Her grades told me she was a great student, and I always needed more staff members, so I readily said yes. Little did I realize what an important and integral part of my life Elena would become. She's more than just a yearbook staffer. She's like one of my own children. Elena is nothing short of amazing. From the beginning, she always took on more than I would have ever expected of a young staff member. This on top of her high academic goals, cheerleading, student council, and everything else she does. She served as editor both her junior and senior years, and times being what they were, is the main reason we even had a yearbook the last couple of years. She does it all, writes, takes photos, creates and edits pages, as well as teaching all the new folks how to do what she does. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I'll just say this. When students look at the yearbooks from 2019 to 2022, they should give a big thank you to Elena High for keeping these memories alive. And now, like so many others before her, she insists on growing up and leaving me. The yearbook will never be the same without her. Her skills, leadership, and work ethic can never be replaced. Elena, I will miss your smiling face every day, but know this, I'm just a phone call away, and I do want to hear about everything that's going on when you get to Ithaca.
It is a pleasure to recognize the star student and star teacher for Stuart W. Cramer High School. The star student is Andrea Detweiler. Her parents are Chris and Janelle Detweiler. Andrea plans to study architecture at UNC Charlotte. Her star teacher is Chris Detweiler. Mr. Detweiler is a science teacher at Stuart W. Cramer High School. Please join me in welcoming the star student and star teacher for Stuart W. Cramer High School.
My dad, Chris Detweiler, is the teacher at my school who inspires me the most. He is an influential teacher and coach, not just to his students and players, but also to his own kids. I was in his physics, astronomy, and earth and environmental class. It was definitely odd at first to have my dad as an actual teacher, but it made me realize how good of a teacher he really is. My father constantly motivates me to do better in school, athletics, and life in general. He has taught me how to be hardworking and represent someone who is also hardworking. All throughout the year, he is doing something productive, even during the summer. Since I was in middle school, he would always ask if I needed to go work on softball. Just because of him pushing me to be better almost every day is how I improved so much in that sport. It wasn't just the sport softball he helped me with, but also tried helping me with basketball and tennis. Every time I would ask for help, he never said no or said that he was busy, and always tried to make time for me. The same thing went for school. My dad is a big believer in doing well in high school and college. He is also the type of parent to get mad that I got an 89 in one class. But really the difference between getting a B or A in a class can sometimes be big. My dad is smart, so he was always able to help me in almost any subject. If he wasn't sure about the subject, he would ask someone to help tutor me. The fact that he always been hard on me about everything is why I became successful in school and softball. I'm thankful that he has pushed me even when I found it annoying or hated it. But overall, my dad has really influenced me to become hardworking and to succeed academically and athletically.
So when I first heard that she was selected to be our representative at our school, I was really, really happy for her because she's the type of student that honestly just kind of doesn't necessarily get recognized for how great she really is, because she's quiet, but she's a quiet leader. And I also want you guys to know that she, when she first got selected, she had to make a decision because her softball team is currently playing right now. I think they're in the 6th inning up at Kings Mountain. And I know that was a tough decision for her because she had to decide to take this award or, be with her teammates. And I know it was tough for her because in her mind she thought maybe she was letting her teammates down, but her teammates were really happy for her and supportive of her. And I'm really glad she decided to take this award because she deserves it. She's really hardworking and she really, really deserves it. So I'm really happy for her. Poor girl, she has to have her dad in class, and I've always wondered how that was for her. But I think for me personally, it was an amazing experience just to look out there and see my daughter in my class while I'm teaching away. So, she had me in honors earth and environmental science. She had me in honors astronomy, honors physics, and I was really happy to see that she was an amazing student and extremely smart as well. Like I said, she's an extremely hard worker. She's a silent leader, and she just leads by example. So I'm really, really happy for her that she received this award. And I'm really thankful, too, that you decided to pick me. It's a great honor for me, especially to have my daughter pick me for this award. As I sat here tonight, and we had a long wait listening to all these amazing stories, and it was really, really cool for me to hear as a teacher. I've been teaching for 18 years. She's 18 years old, so I've been teaching. If I ever have to wonder how many years I've been teaching, I just remember how old she is. But it's really, really neat to hear the different perspectives of teachers and students, and it's really neat to hear all these great stories. And honestly, everybody should hear these stories because teachers do amazing things, and a lot of times we do amazing things and people don't even really realize it. So it's a great honor, like I said, and I just want to give you say something to you as you go on to college next year. My message to you is you are talented, you're smart, you're beautiful, hardworking young lady, and if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. So congratulations. I'll be there to help you any step of the way too. So congratulations.
Now we would like to recognize the star student and star teacher for the Gaston Early College High School. The star student is Joey Whitmer. He is the son of Michael and Melissa Whitmer. Joey plans to attend North Carolina State University and major in business administration. His star teacher is Lauren Dixon. Ms. Dixon is a science teacher at the Gaston Early College High School. Please join me in welcoming the star student and star teacher for the Gaston Early College High School.
I'll try not to get emotional on you guys. When my principal first came up to me and told me that I'd have the opportunity to honor a teacher, I knew immediately who I would pick. From the first day of my freshman year, Ms. Dixon has proven to be one of the sweetest and most caring people I've ever met. And every day she goes out of her way to show all of her students that she genuinely loves and cares the opportunity that she has to teach at such a unique school. We're with these teachers for 5 years, and I couldn't have been happier to be alongside her for all 5 of those years. I have vivid memories of Ms. Dixon delivering student invitations to join our school's beta club and giving out the biggest congratulatory hugs possible. After 2 years of watching that process and not being given one myself, I finally decided that my academics really needed to be one of my biggest priorities. I really hoped to join Beta Club and make Ms. Dixon proud. And that same year, Ms. Dixon was my honors biology teacher, where she helped establish my love for science. While I did work hard, Ms. Dixon's passion and love for science is what made me do so well. And that same year, she presented me with my first award, the Darwin Award. When Ms. Dixon presented me with this award, she showed me the power behind loving what you do. Her love for supporting and recognizing her students is what makes me selecting her today for this award so special. Her outstanding attitude and love for teaching shines through to the students and makes her classroom the most enjoyable place for anyone at our school. Ms. Dixon doesn't just teach biology, she teaches students how to be good people and how to love what you do. And for that, I'm always going to be thankful for Ms. Dixon.
Oh my goodness. It's okay to be emotional. We'll blame the Detweilers. All right, well, Joey, you know, I work with a lot of really remarkable people. And so I am honored, I'm humbled to be chosen as your star teacher. And like so many of you have alluded to, I often wonder whether or not I do a good enough job. Not with the content so much, because that's the easy part, but with the people. Because when I look across the classroom, I catch glimpses of faces 10 years in the future. I see them as citizens, and it catches me off guard. You know, I start thinking about that moment in my classroom. What do I want the lesson to be right now? Does that lesson need to be about biology, or does it need to be about life? Because biology is life. So early on, I think in my career, which is dwindling away, yeah, because this is year 29. This is close to being the caboose. And, you know, I realized really early on that the idea most central to my belief system as a teacher is understanding that students will learn so much more from who I am than from the curriculum that I teach. And students will learn from my legacy. And, you know, Tuesday of this week, within the span of about 6 hours, I was in 2 very different places and found myself surrounded by this word legacy. That word just kept coming and coming and coming to me. One was at a celebration of a life well lived, and the other was a video montage as I was preparing my section at the Fuse District, listening to Brandon Bellamy welcome all the boys of summer back for another season. And so as I near retirement, I've really started thinking more about what my legacy is in the classroom. And so I wonder, Joey and seniors, as you are preparing to graduate, if you're not also beginning to wonder about your legacy. You know, you have one. You have a legacy. And what I've come to understand more and more is that legacy is not about what you leave behind. Legacy is about how you embrace the moments while you were with us. And I'm going to talk about your sister for a second. It's not about your sister, though. You know, being an older sibling is hard. I know this because I am one. Being a younger sibling is hard. I know this because I have one. But you know, as families go, it's often said that apples don't fall far from the tree. And in our case at the early college, we had 2 of those Whitmer apples. We had a Kinsey apple and a Joey apple, and they were not the same apple. They were not the same apple, but they should be very different apples. You're different iterations of the same sets of DNA, but your DNA made you Joey. And when Joey entered early college, he was not a shy and timid freshman. He was an exuberant bundle of hype that I got to watch for an entire year because prior to last year, I had not had to touch freshmen since 1998 when I left Holbrook Junior High. I did not miss it. So, you know, having this opportunity to watch Joey be Joey and then ultimately have this opportunity for all of that joy and excitement and enthusiasm to just spill over into my classroom was really when I think Joey started embracing sort of this saying we have at the early college. You have to take advantage of the advantage, right? And having figured that out, he hit the ground running. And in biology, I saw this fire in him. I saw this eagerness to make connections, for an eagerness to learn. He was still a goofball, but he was becoming so much more confident in himself academically. And with that confidence academically, leadership potential started to surface, really. And so thus begins this metamorphosis of Joey Whitmer, and I think it shocked him. It didn't shock his parents. It didn't shock Mr. Allen. It did not shock me, but I think it was sort of shocking to you because you were so used to being this fun, energetic, just, hey, look at me kind of kid. So your involvement, Joey, and just the involvement you have in our student council, that you have on campus at Gaston College, and in a leadership position at the state level for student government in the community college system, like, dude, that is your legacy. That's your blueprint. Your legacy is your blueprint. It's how we know you've been here, and it's how we know you've embraced the moments while you've been here. I can say with absolutely all the confidence in the world that you have taken advantage of the advantage. You were selected as a star student for our school because of your scholastic accomplishments, but there is so much more to you than that. You have a great mind. It's goofy, but it's a great mind. You have such a gentle spirit and the kindest of hearts, and I'm so grateful that your classmates get to see that because you truly are a leader among your peers. But I think what I appreciate more than anything about you is your desire to always grow and be better and do more. That's what sets Joey Whitmer apart. He looks for opportunities to push himself while also serving others. And my students are my people. We're a family. I am Mama Dixon, and my classroom is sort of the living room in the school because it's just a cool, comfortable space where we celebrate everything and work through everything and challenge everything. And yes, I'm employed as a teacher and I do have students, but we all grow and learn together. We're all training to be better people. And I'm not a huge soccer fan, but I am a Mia Hamm fan, and she puts it this way. I'm building a fire, and every day I train, I add more fuel. At just the right moment, I light the match. So Joey, it's been a privilege to be called your teacher, to be recognized as a star teacher, but for 5 years, you have been training. You have been building your fire, you've been adding fuel and fuel and fuel to that fire, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to watch you become real, to watch you become the person that the world needs right now. I love you, I adore you, you're my favorite. Every student I've ever taught will hear me say that to them in person at least one time. But please, go strike your match.
The star student and star teacher from North Gaston High School, we would like to introduce them at this time. The star student is Libby Shaw. Her parents are Jim and Lori Shaw. She plans to attend North Carolina State University to study business management. Her star teacher is Calvin Arrowwood. Mr. Arrowwood teaches business at North Gaston High School. Please join me in welcoming the star student and star teacher for North Gaston High School.
I never imagined when I signed up for project management that I would be finding what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Mr. Arrowwood has been an instrumental part of my life since freshman year when I joined Fellowship of Christian Athletes. When I signed up to be in Mr. Arrowwood's class, I thought I would take the class and just move on with my life. And having a teacher who is consistently happy at the school, prepared for the day, and loves what he is teaching is one of the best experiences that has stuck with me throughout my high school years. Mr. Arrowwood has always been there for not just me, but each of his students. Every morning, Mr. Airwood allows his students to get breakfast even if they are late because he doesn't want them to go hungry. He has a supply closet of drinks and snacks if you completely miss the breakfast time. All you have to do is ask. For example, the other day, a kid walked in and did not have a mask, and he was happy to give him. He is consistently willing to help, more so than we know. What has truly inspired me to choose Mr. Airwood as my STAR teacher is how much of a leader he is. He encouraged us to be our best selves and to try our hardest even when we don't want to. In project management, we are taught to be a leader. We are taught that a leader and a manager are two different people with two different skill sets. A leader will encourage you to be your best. A manager who is in control and plays no games when you are getting the deliverable done. I am lucky to have a teacher like Mr. Airwood who possesses the qualities of both of these people.
Thank you, Libby. Dan, we took waiting to another level. Libby is one of those students that, as a teacher, we all want. I told Mr. Connor just in the last few days that the perfect class would be a class full of Libbys. And it doesn't matter whether Libby is working in a course, working on academics, being a part of a cheerleading squad, or working with the student council as its president. She gives her all to whatever she does. And Libby, I will close by saying that a lot of older people, more mature people, are worried about where the world is going. But when we have people like Libby and these other STAR students, we know that it's going to be in good hands. Thank you.
Thank you to our STAR students for sharing their heartfelt stories about these truly wonderful STAR teachers recognized here with us this evening. So let's have one final round of applause for our STAR teachers and STAR students in the class of 2022. Once again, our appreciation goes to the Gaston Gazette for sponsoring our ceremony and to the Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden for hosting our event this year. We also would like to thank Guilty Pleasures Catering and Bakery for our reception, my team in the Communications Department, our Facilities Department, and our Business Partnerships Office for working to ensure a successful program for our STAR honorees. We also want to recognize Miss Gaston County Bailey Beam and Miss Gaston County's outstanding teen Morgan Wiest for serving as our greeters this afternoon. We want to let you know that today's program is being recorded for broadcast on Spectrum Channel 21, which is the education station for Gaston County Schools. We would like to say a special thank you to our high school principals and administrators and counselors and the central office administrators who are with us here today to support this program. We also want to thank the guests of our STAR teachers who are with us to celebrate this occasion. And we want to acknowledge the parents of our STAR students. There is no question. Yes. There is no question that our parents are the proudest people here today. Congratulations, STAR teachers and STAR students for the class of 2022. This is your time to shine. We appreciate you being here, and we hope you have a nice evening.